This Hollywood actor had a career spanning over 30 years and was able to become an icon, playing a gangster, detective, adventurer, and lover on the big screen. He helped pioneer and present a new style of acting for film noir and even dramas, being remembered for his film or movie Casablanca, which made him a star, and even another film called The Maltese Falcon in the 1940s. From a naval officer to an action star of the silver screen, this is the hard hitting Humphrey Bogart, and this is his basic biography. Early life. There is not that much I could find out about this actor, as himself being born on the 25th of December 1899 in New York, USA. He was born to parents who were born on different sides of the social scale. His father worked as an innkeeper, and his mother grew up and became a heiress to her parents' fortune. However, he did have some ancestry from Europe, and would be explained throughout his childhood and even interviews made in his later life. He was able to be he was able to attend private schools which his mother could afford, and later boarding schools depending on his mother's but depending on his mother being part of his life in the in the high class and high society in United States, even spending some time focusing away from studies by causing trouble, which actually had some issues in school and leading to expulsion from different schools. This was about to change for the young Humphrey Bogart, as he was able to enlist in the army instead of going to university to further his education. He enlisted in the United States Navy during World War One. He would even be able to become a naval officer within his later years, and even work in the later years of the war, and even in the tail end of the 1910s. Acting career. Just after World War One, the young Humphrey Bogart had been able to finish his tenure in the United States Navy, with himself trying to make ends meet from being part of the Great War. Acting would be his profession after the Navy, as his career would be starting during the 1920s, starting off in the theater industry with him being an administrator, um, and even working behind the scenes of various stage performances, working on various scripts for actors on stage, then helping out with the production of each stage performance. He would was not able to carry on with these odd jobs due to finding his own path of being a star on stage. His first stage performance was in 1921 in the play Drifting. During the first stage performance, he was able to play a waiter, then allow his family to see with a chance of being able to work on other stage performances by the young Humphrey Bogart, who would become a Broadway actor and Broadway star that would be headlining throughout the 1920s. Due to his various Broadway performances, he was able to provide his own take on various characters on stage, which helped him and helped people distinguish himself from other actors such as Spencer Tracy, who were big stars at the time. He would become a star of the stage due to playing gangsters, criminals, and even villains on stage, and even in Broadway. From becoming a stage actor, Humphrey Bogart was able be given a chance to become a Hollywood star, and this time changing his appearance as a gangster or criminal on stage to a silver screen hero or tough guy on to many theaters and even cinemas around the United States. This transformation happened during the 1930s when the Great Depression was in full swing and actors were hard to come by with the same style as Humphrey Bogart. He was able to take his own um, performances and his own take on modern gangsters and even villains on the stage. His first movie appearance was in a 1930 film called Up in the River with with fellow actor Spencer Tracy, both playing prisoners who are on patrol or on parole based on their crimes they committed. Later on, he would become a star. Stage villain to silver screen hero. Since becoming a silver screen actor from Up the River in 1930, Humphrey Bogart would get more roles based on his acting career and even his excellence throughout the 1930s, and even excelling as a new Hollywood star, where he was able to play more characters that would be heroes, villains, and even war heroes during the time of the war. The 1940s would make him a star playing a war hero or war heroes due to the start of World War II. However, other roles during the 1930s, however, he was able to play on the silver screen. He played in a film called Black Legion as a character called Frank Taylor in 1937, where he was a vigilante against criminals. Then playing Whip McCord in The Oklahoma Kid in 1939, a western with the young Humphrey Bogart playing a cowboy and running around with his own gang in Oklahoma. And finally, in 1939, he was able to play a kingpin called Joe Gurney in the film King of the Underworld in that same particular year. He started his film career in the 1930s, but the 1940s would make him an icon, as well as one of the best leading actors of this decade, starring in movies from crime dramas to war films based on his acting credits. Two iconic movies that made him a star and even a lead was the 1941 film The Maltese Falcon, where he played Sam Spade, who was a detective based on helping a femme fatale client to help find the Maltese Falcon sculpture, even solidify himself as a tough guy. Then starring in another great film called Casablanca in 1942, where he played Rick Blaine alongside beautiful actress Ingrid Bergman, as the film would be based on World War II and the events at that time. Later on, he would contribute to acting in the 1940s and sometimes spend time on radio working on various performances with a chance to promote his movies on that same medium. However, in the 1950s, it actually helped, that decade helped continue his iconic status as an actor, with new movies based on adventure, comedy, and action. He would star in the movie The African Queen in 1951, venturing through the African jungle with Katharine Hepburn. Personal life and final years. Humphrey Bogart would marry at least four times in his life. First wife was Helen McKen from 1926 to 1927. Second wife was Mary Phillips and their relationship lasted from 1928 to 1937. Then his second wife was Mayo Menthot, and their relationship lasted from 1938 to 1945. Yet his final wife was Lauren Bacall, a fellow actress, which they were both married from 1945 until his death in 1957. The actor would have the actor and actress Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall would have two children in this relationship. He was awarded one acting award called which was the Best Actor Award in the Academy Awards category in 1951. 6 years before his death, and even continued to act with his fourth wife on the silver screen from the 1940s to the 1950s. Also in the 1950s, his success in the African Queen would make Humphrey Bogart now become now an actor who has made himself a detective. Made detectives look tough, and even sometimes fearing these detectives on the silver screen, allowing other actors to do the same, with some chances of writers of famous crime novels mold their characters from the performances on the silver screen from the great Humphrey Bogart. His final years would be his final years would see the middle-aged Humphrey Bogart playing in more fatherly and leader roles, based on his war films to the end of of the film noir genre, due to Technicolor being the new technology on the silver screen. Now working with new actors and actresses that were able to become icons themselves, sometimes spending time on the silver screen with sometimes spending the silver screen with him um, to excel in their acting careers as well. Humphrey Bogart starred in the movie Sabrina in 1954, as he was able to co-star with the beautiful Audrey Hepburn and even the rugged William Holden, who were also famous in various movie roles in the past. The Barefoot Countess in the same year, he was able to star with Ava Gardner, and then in the Cane Mutiny, also in the same year, with Jose Ferrero. His final appearance would be in the sports film or sports drama slash film noir called The Harder They Fall in 1956. Legacy of a Silver Screen Hero. Sadly, the hero of the silver screen, Humphrey Bogart, passed away on the 14th of January 1957 at the age of 57 due to cancer. He was remembered for making the film noir genre famous and as well as being a well-known genre in American cinema. Even having time with other actors and actresses making their mark at the same time as the great Humphrey Bogart. But he would add some sense of hard man attitude towards the various characters he played on the silver screen and even on stage, using memorable quotes and showing how he would never back down when someone wanted to challenge him to a fight. He was honored by the Academy Award and even spent some time having contributing and contribution to the industry based on acting and taking part behind the screen with other directors and communicating with other directors. His legacy still lives on, with many actors taking up the hard man persona to being ranked by Hollywood as a silver screen legend. However, Humphrey Bogart's tributes were able to be made after his death, and having cartoons using some of his quotes or playing archetypes of his character to many performances on the silver screen to television. Thank you for watching my video, and please subscribe if you haven't done so. My name is Suki Cookie, and please subscribe if you haven't done so, and even check out my other videos. Stay tuned for more content like this. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.